Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And you know, I'm often accused on this channel of being one of those people who is always pushing negative news on South Africa. And I'm also accused of being a realist. And I'm quite happy to live with both those tags. But I have to tell you, there is something very critical happening in South Africa right now. And if you're not prepping, if you don't have some form of firearm stuck away in your household with adequate ammunition, you're setting yourself up for a really rough time. Believe me. You know, the South African police service now is almost like a rogue unit. We've had ample evidence of that there are a lot of police who just take bribes, they're corrupt, they're not doing what they're supposed to do, they're beating people up for no reason at all, they're arresting people for no reason at all. We've got that slow puncture, this disgusting activity that they basically put white people through. You know, the police service is a joke in South Africa. Let's be quite honest about it. And I've expressed the position that don't just open your door if someone claims to be a police officer and stops you on the street. It's a very, very dangerous choice to make. And it's got worse. You know, there are two different types of policing, I guess you could say, that a normal government have. One is the police service, the other is the army. Well, now the South African National Defence Force is out of cash, and it's probably going to shut down. Unbelievable. The Minister of Defence and Military Veterans, remember that the ANC MVs, the armed wing of the ANC, are very tied up with the South African National Defence Force. Anyway, the Minister of Defence and Military Veterans, Nosiziwe Mapisa Nkwakula, has warned that the South African Air Force is facing a cash shortage which may have an impact on its future capabilities. In a recent parliamentary Q&A session, Mapisa Nkwakula said that engagements between the Department of Defence and National Treasury are taking place to address the general funding challenges facing the South African National Defence Force. She said, capabilities will gradually come to a grinding stop if both state-owned entities like Denel and the Department of Defence are not adequately resourced to fulfill on their various mandates. The decision to stop flying will be determined by airworthiness and aviation safety considerations. The South African Air Force has qualified personnel that monitor and certify aircraft airworthiness and safety. Mapisa Nkwakula has previously warned that the current plans to get the South African National Defence Force back on track are entirely dependent on funding. She said, the prevention of the SANDF capabilities from declining further is entirely dependent on the budget allocation of the Defence Force, which has been decreasing at an alarming rate over the years, with a negative impact on the entire capabilities, she said. She went on to say the Defence Review 2015 has been developed with a plan to arrest the decline of the SANDF, but unfortunately no funding has been received to attend to the declining capabilities of the South African National Defence Force. Mapisa Nkwakula added that the year-long decline of the SANDF meant that it was becoming increasingly difficult to protect the country. She said, the defence has become progressively unsustainable in terms of declining defence allocations and have reached a point where the Republic must decide on the kind of defence force it wants and can afford. In a July briefing, Mapisa Nkwakula said that her department had been forced to continuously adjust its plan downwards in response to the declining budget in recent years. Now, You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that the South African army is a shocker, and that basically the whole SANDF, or South African National Defence Force, is going down the tubes like everything else. Now, once you've got these rogue elements that used to be the ANC military arm, or the remains of the ANC military arm, armed with AK-47s and things like that, loose in the streets, not being paid, they're going to form armed gangs. That's what they're going to do. And they're going to be attacking soft targets. I mean, there's no question about that, because they're going to be starving, they're going to be trying to support their families. This is where South Africa is going. And this is why it is so incredibly important for every minority family in South Africa today to prepare, to get involved with organizations that can offer you a plan B. Believe me, you need it. This is not good. This is going to make Venezuela look like a kitchen party. You know, it is inconceivable the things that are going to come to South Africa once the SANDF completely collapses because of lack of funding. And you don't have to look too far to join the dots. Early next year, without a doubt, I believe that Moody's is going to put the rand into junk status. That's in March next year. When that happens, the rand is going to collapse in value. Look what's happening with the port of Durban. It's at a stalemate. Goods are not getting in, goods are not going out. The whole thing is a complete joke. That's the major port of entry for goods apart from Cape Town, which is hardly any better. Look at South African Airways. Complete disgrace. Look at Eskom. Look, guys, the country, South Africa, as we knew it pre-1994, has gone. Okay? The land looks the same. It still looks beautiful. You know, you can still drive a car through parts of South Africa and say, wow, what a wonderful place. And it always will be. But at this point in time, the danger of anarchy is growing minute by minute. And, you know, I believe that the first target will be the actual ANC government. I think the black population is going to turn on the ANC government. I think there's going to be a huge amount of black-on-black violence. I believe from there, the desperate black population will then start turning their attention to the white suburbs where they're easy pickings. I have absolutely no doubt that will happen, because they'll be starving. And what other choices have they got? This really leaves the white population with one huge decision to make. And that is, they've got to start banding together. Now, look, I have always been advocating for Satelanders, and I will put their link down below this video, because at least they do offer people a plan B. People who don't have a plan B. Take that link, join Satelanders, and then you can get the benefits of having a plan B. The shocking reality, guys, is that once this government loses control, it's going to be absolutely bedlam. And that's why this channel is talking to people like Boer Leon, because they do also have a plan. They also do basically everything totally legally, but just in preparation of what's coming. That's why we talk to people like Marius Ruud, who's training young white people in bushcraft, because the minority groups have got to start looking after themselves. I don't want to sound like a voice of doom, but I'm just trying to be a voice of reality. Once the SANDF break down completely. The police service are largely broken, as we know now. Once those two arms or legal arms have completely collapsed, it is going to be anarchy in South Africa, believe me. All right, guys, I'm sorry to give you this very negative message, but I think 2020 is probably going to be the year where things start really falling apart in South Africa, once the rand has been hammered been put down to junk. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video, please share this video, and above all, please stay safe. Bye for now.